He's busy. So listen here. So my stepfather is a recovering alcoholic, addict. He's recovering all around. And so he has this guy that he knows from his meetings because, so he's a retired doctor, but he used to practice in the medical field of rehab and rehabilitation and all that for drugs and alcohol. Well, he has this person that is like they're sponsors. I don't know if you're familiar with the program or not, but you have a sponsor and someone will sponsor you. So basically if you have a breakdown or if you feel like you need to use again or, you're going through withdrawal and you're having problems and you're getting itch to go do whatever drug is your choice or drink, they contact their sponsors, or if they're experiencing something that they're having a breakdown over, they contact their sponsor. It's like an on-call psychologist, okay?
Okay.
So he has met this guy that he's kind of taken under his wing, and this guy is from another country, and the guy is okay, but I never really liked the dude because I always felt like he was taking advantage of my family, of like my stepfather, because he's older and he has some issues mentally or whatever, not mental issues, but with dementia, like beginning stages.
Right.
And the guy can see that, and he's one of those people that seem like he's a con artist, and I can see through bullshit real quick. And I told my mom, I'm like, you all need to get rid of this person. She's like, yeah, but he helps us out with stuff. And so this guy, he's been around now for like, 5-7 years? I don't know. It's been a while. 7 years, 8 years since I moved back from the West Coast. And so this guy had told my stepfather he found a buyer for his boat and took this boat up a canal in the Keys. But you can only take the boat in and out at certain times of the day because of high tide, low tide, and you have to know the waters, right? And then all of a sudden, my stepfather went to go get the check for the boat, and then there was no check, right? So then he's like, well, you need to bring my boat out. And the guy's like, no, I'm not going to bring your boat out. And they took his boat from like a dock where he was docking the boat. And I'm like, well, the person where you're docking the boat should be responsible to get your boat back because you never told them that it was okay for them to take the boat. And this boat is like cursed, first of all, because you remember that guy Rudy that used to help at Zero Tolerance?
Oh yeah, I know.
He sliced
crazy eyes.
He sliced his whole hand off on that boat. Then the boat, the rope snapped one day. We were stuck and we had to get towed by a little ranger guy, and the rope snapped and it whipped my leg, remember? And the artery on my leg. Okay, so there's two things that happen. And then they've gotten stuck every time they go out. There's they say when you buy a boat, the best day is when you purchase the boat, and the next best day is when you sell the boat. That's the saying.
And the third best day is when it sinks.
Yeah, seriously, because what happens is these boats, they just cost so much money to fix, to keep going, and the water, the wear and tear from salt water, whatever. So I was asking my mom, because I took her grocery shopping or whatever, so she could have some groceries in the house. So she's just like a nervous wreck right now, And so whenever we were there, I was like, oh, so what's up with the boat situation? Did y'all sell it? And she just looked at me and she told me the story. Tio, I wanted to go over there and tell that man about his ass. But obviously I did not.
You wanted to punch the man, didn't you?
So what do? Exactly. Do I need to call the authorities and say, hey, Mr. Police Officer, there is this con artist down there that's taking advantage of my family and stole their boat? Or do I let my stepfather do it his way? I mean, what do you listeners think? Because this is kind of weird, right? I think it's so crazy.
Well, he would probably not want to pursue it much because it makes him look bad. But if I were you, I would do it.
He's embarrassed because he's so intelligent, but he's just, he's 82 now and he's having all these health problems and he has shit going on and it's stressful, and it disappoints him that his patient, well, not patient, but in his eyes, he looks at him as a patient, would do something like this to him.
Right.
So I'm contemplating on what I'm going to do. But if they don't do something by next Friday, I'm going to take it into my hands.
I would too.
I mean, has anybody, listeners, have you all ever experienced this where your family, when they're older, have been taken advantage of? Because even I know this lawn man that used to take advantage of my grandma. Some people thrive on older individuals, and it's just not right.
Well, I told you the story where I came home one day and there was a whole bunch of women at my house where my mom's. Remember that? And they turned out to be Jehovah's Witnesses or something.
Oh
Yeah, and I kicked them out, and they said, why? And I said, no, you don't belong here in this house. If you come here again, I'll shoot you.
Oh, Tio.
Well, I did.
Oh, no.
And they never did come back.
Oh, my goodness. Well, okay, guys. Yeah, I don't mind about whatever your religion is. You could be Santeria or whatever.
Take advantage of Mom.
Because your mom, it was like in that state of mind where my stepfather is right now,
People take advantage of them. It's just like, I can't believe this.
No, Tio, do you remember when I first moved to Tampa, I lived in a neighborhood that had a Jehovah Witness community center in the back of my community. It was like all gated off and people lived back there, whatever. Well, I did not know this. So, I went out the night, got drunk, wasted. Next morning, I'm hungover like a mug. And all of a sudden, I hear someone knocking on my door. I'm like, who the fuck is knocking on my door? Oh, my God, I must have left my car doors open, window down, something. My neighbor must want something.
Yeah.
I walked out there, and it was Jehovah Witness, and I was like, what the F do you want? And you should have seen the man's face, solid white. Like, he could not believe I spoke to him like that, but I was hungover, I was angry, because I used to, not like to be woken up. Now I'm much better, but I used to be kind of mean whenever it came to waking me up in the mornings, and so, I was like, and then I said to him, I go, why are you telling me about your word if only so many people can get into heaven? And he just looked at me, and again, he turned sheet white. And I was like, goodbye, don't ever knock on my door again.
Yeah. Well, I told you about the two who came to my door at 7 o'clock on a Sunday morning. I was asleep.
That was my experience.
And I said, what are you doing? And he said, we're just wanting to show. I said, why would you go and tell somebody about your religion?
That's what I said to them.
166,000 people could get into your heaven according to you.
But I remember that story.
I keep my mouth shut.
Yeah, so I said that to these people, and they just looked at me like, she's a bitch. And, and like I said, I understand they have to go out and do that, and that's part of their religion. And I'm not a hater on the religion.
Oh, no.
But I just don't like people knocking on my door. Don't wake me up, yes! And don't knock on my door, because if you knock on my doors, my dogs are going to bark, and it's complete chaos. And I have to get up, because they're not going to shut up until I go to the door. So, craziness. But there are a couple of things I experienced on my trip that I wanted to talk to you about.
Okay, by the way, Mike said he's ready.
Of course he is. One more story before I call him. I'm going to pull up his number right now. Okay. My mother has all these iguanas, okay? These iguanas are like as big as Alizea. And Alizea is about, 20 pounds.
Right.
And so anyways, I saw this iguana outside. I'm like, Mom, there's a huge iguana out there. And so she goes and gets her gun. And she killed an iguana. We're calling Mike. I could not believe it. Can you believe that? My mom out there with a gun shooting him? Oh, my God.
Hello?
Hey, Mike. How are you? This is Goddess Courtney and Tio on Between the Cleats. How are you doing today?